Hi, welcome back. I've talked a lot about selling your book on Kindle, but in this lesson I want to talk about you selling direct. Now, when you sell direct, you're basically cutting out the gatekeeper who is the third party in the transaction. It's the person between you and the reader. And it can be Amazon, it can be Nook, it can be a publisher if you're going a traditional route. But gatekeepers stand between you and the reader, and the downside is they always take a portion of the profits. Now, Jim Kukral, who does the Sell More Books podcast, and it's going to be in our resources section, he wrote a book called Go Direct. And I'm not going to go over all the things in the book because it's a great read and I suggest you pick up a copy. But Jim really does talk about, getting the gatekeepers out of the way and being able to communicate directly with your buyer, your reader, and using your mailing list to sell direct and using PayPal or other places as your download sales mechanism. I'm going to talk about eJunkie in just a second, as well as a couple more sites, but there are ways to set up your book sales so that nobody else is involved, nobody stands between you and the reader. Here's the real plus. If you sell on Kindle, you never know who bought your book unless they sign up for your mailing list, and even then you're not sure that they came from the book unless you have a mailing list specifically for book buyers. If Amazon changes how they do business and you're totally dependent upon them, you're in a lot of trouble. And that is one of the huge reasons I keep talking about doing a mailing list. Because if your Amazon income were to disappear tomorrow, if you've taken the time to build a mailing list, you're going to still have a very large group of people who are dedicated fans who want to know about what books you're putting out, and you can go directly to them. You can sell directly to your mailing list. So this is an option. If you don't want to go the Kindle route, this is an option you may want to consider. Now, eJunkie.com is a site where you can sell digital products. And they don't have to be a whole book. It can just be a report or some kind of cheat sheet that you put together. And once you set it up and upload the product, eJunkie takes care of all of the sales and all of the downloading stuff. You don't have to do anything. What's really great too is you can also get affiliates, affiliates on eJunkie to promote your products. So you basically have your own little sales team. The better the affiliate commission, the more people who are going to be involved in being out there selling your product. Sells.com, SELZ.com, is a fairly new site, and a lot of authors are exploring it and having great success. They will pay directly into your bank account or your PayPal account. What I like about Sells is you can sell a physical item, a digital item, or a service. So if you're a coach or consultant of some kind, you can actually sell your service there. What's great here is anybody who buys your product or service, you get their email address to add to your email list. So that's really valuable. Now, there aren't any setup fees, there aren't any monthly fees for using Sells. All you do is you pay 25 cents plus 5% of the transaction amount. That's all the fees that are involved. What's great about this site is they actually do some tracking and analytics for you, and that's always a valuable thing to have. Now, other direct outlets. Noisetrade.com. This is kind of interesting. It's a place where people release books and music, and you're basically releasing your work for free, and people who get it can leave you a tip if they choose to. You can put the recommended amount of a tip, but they don't have to give you a tip if they don't want to. But again, the valuable part is you do get the email address of anybody who gets your book. Now, Etsy.com, you might never have even thought about Etsy because it's always been, handmade things or crafty kind of things, but you can sell digital products on Etsy, including your book. What is great about Etsy too is you basically are getting to set up your own little storefront, and to me that's great too. The more places you can be out there, the better. And one last place I want to talk about in terms of selling direct is Fiverr.com. A lot of people may not realize it because Fiverr is usually where people actually do things, but you can create and sell books there for $5. And although you're paying Fiverr a small commission, you're still making far more money than the $2 you would have made on Kindle if you're selling a book for $2.99. So Fiverr's a pretty good deal. I hope this gives you an idea. If you don't want to go through a gatekeeper like Kindle or Nook or iBooks or any of the other digital platforms, it gives you some ideas of how to sell direct to readers. And the plus is then you're also going to get their email addresses.